I was hit with a job loss. And now I have to live off of my emergency fund until I find a new job. Hey friend, welcome to my ambitious plans. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. You already know you're a real one and I appreciate you. If you're new here, welcome. I'm GMerie, a millennial digital planner and zero-based budgeter, and I'm in the process of learning to navigate my 40s with purpose using digital planning and smart budgeting to become totally debt free before I turn 50. If any of this sounds like your vibe, then I invite you to join my journey where I share tips and real life experiences on how I plan to take control of my finances, manage my money with intention, and plan for a future of freedom and fulfillment. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you'll never miss an upload. Now let's get into today's video. So I did the right thing and I built up an emergency fund. It's sitting at the current goal that I had set for myself, but damn, as always, there's always something that comes and knocks you right off your feet. There's always some type of speed bump or something in life. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was hit with a job loss. And now I have to live off of my emergency fund until I find a new job. So if you're interested in seeing how I budget my money to live off of my emergency funds, then stay tuned. I recently lost my job as a visiting nurse, and that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. So unfortunately, I have to rely on my emergency fund to carry me through until I find another job. I do want to add that I am fortunate to have this emergency fund to even fall back on. I feel so blessed. And I'm so proud of myself that I had the discipline to build up this emergency fund. Before we get into the budget, I do want to say a few things. There are 3 categories that I normally contribute to that are on pause until I find another job, and they are savings, investments, and my sinking funds. I do continue to budget every week as if I'm getting paid, and I still designate 1 day a week to sit down and complete my budget for the next 6 to 7 days. Currently, I do it on Thursday nights. Before I lost my job, I was doing it on Wednesday nights right after my direct deposit would hit my bank account. And the budget planner that I am using is my MYT finance planner that I personally created and I do sell on my website. It's available as a printable and a hyperlinked PDF. So I will leave the link to my website in the description box below for anyone who's interested. And for a little housekeeping, the tools that I do use, I use a iPad Pro 11-inch. The year is 2020, and I also use a Apple Pencil 2nd Gen. So this is my current budgeting workflow, and this is what currently works for me. It may not work for you. You may be able to take a few steps here and there and tweak it to make it work for your situation. So this is what currently works for me. So if it ain't broke, I ain't gonna try to fix it. With anything that I do, I try my best to eat the frog first and start off by doing the hardest or the most tedious task first. So I do track my expenses from the previous week just to get it out the way. I track my expenses in my wealth tracker, which is a Google spreadsheet, and I just open up my online bank account, go in, see how much I spent, see what I spent it on, take those numbers and plug it into the spreadsheet. It takes me about like 4 or 5 minutes to do that real quick. It's even quicker now because my discretionary spending right now is piquito. So it was really quick this week. And after I track my expenses, which I just want to throw in there, FYI, I think it's very important to track your expenses weekly or at least monthly so you get an idea of what you are spending your money on and how much you're spending on in certain categories. Like for me, it makes my stomach purl every time I see how much I'm spending on Red Bull and coffee each month. So that's one of my goals, to cut that back. But I'm glad that I have that number right there in my face saying, Gina, you're spending this much on Red Bull and coffee. And it's disgusting. After I track my expenses, I do go to the previous week and I close out that budget, which I already did. I closed out paycheck number 2's budget, which is right here. And then after I close out my previous week budget, I check my budget calendar, which is right here. I will check to see what bills and subscriptions are coming up and need to be paid within the next 6 to 7 days. And this also includes any debt payments as well. So then I will take those payments, which you'll see I have some bills coming up, which is my Apple storage, my car insurance, and my Canva subscription, which is coming up. So I will take these 3 bills, just take note, normally copy and paste, and bring them over to my budget by paycheck page for paycheck number 3, which I like to highlight just so I can have a visual to let me know which week we are, which paycheck this is. The paycheck date, I'm saying I'm getting paid on 9/19, and this money needs to hold me through from 9/20 to 9/26 because I do treat myself as if I'm still getting paid, but my employer right now is my emergency fund. Okay, I brought over the bills that will need to be paid for this week, and they are the car insurance, like we said, the storage, and Canva. And I also include any expenses that I need to cover for the week. I need gas, grocery, and household items. And my household items are only they're like cleaning supplies and garbage bags. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to total up everything so I can get a total grand amount of what I need this week to cover everything that needs to be paid. So my car insurance normally is $145, but my husband did tell me only give him $75 and he'll pay the rest since I'm not working, which was so sweet of him. So the budget for car insurance is $75. My Apple storage is $10 and Canva is $12.95. So we're just going to say $13. And then for gas, I am going to budget $40, grocery $80, and household $20. And I'm just going to total these up really quick. 75 plus 10 plus 13 equals $98. And then we'll go over to expenses. So 40 plus 80 plus 20 equals $140. And I also just like to go down here and fill, the summary in as well. For bills, it was $98. Expenses, $140. And remember, I am not contributing. Well, this week I don't have any debt payments to pay. That'll be next week, but I am not contributing to any savings or investments or sinking funds until I find another job. So now I will total these up, and the total is 98 plus 140 equals $238. I need $238 to cover all my bills and expenses for this week. So now what I'm going to do is take that $238 and bring it up here to income, because this is going to be my paycheck for the week. I'm getting paid $238. This is your income minus your expenses. It's going to zero out to make the zero-based budget. I then go over to my emergency fund, which is held in a high yield savings account. I hold mine at Capital One. For anyone who's interested, there's a link down to Capital One in the description box, so you can check it out. They do have a really nice interest rate. It's not the highest, but I do like Capital One because you are allowed to have multiple buckets of savings accounts for different purposes and stuff like that. So I do like Capital One, and also that's where I have some of my credit cards. So everything is combined into one, and it's just convenient for me. So if you are interested, there is a link below. So I will then transfer the $238 from my emergency fund to my bill and spending account to cover the bills and the expenses for the week. So remember, this is my income from the week from my emergency fund. That is pretty much my budgeting workflow in a nutshell. But I do just want to close off by saying that I am only spending money on necessities right now. This is a time that requires absolute discipline. I will be transparent. That is something that I currently lack. Discipline is I'm trying to build that up. I ain't gonna preach to the choir because I'm in the choir, but I am trying to be better with that. But I did kind of, the other day I did have an impulsive moment, and I bought some fall decor on my credit card, which is a big no. But I just, it was an impulsive moment, and I know better, and I'm even considering bringing the stuff back to punish myself. Bad girl. It is fall time, and I do love the fall season, and I love to decorate for both fall and Christmas. So this was not a good time for me to not have a job, because I'm sitting here I'm like a kid looking outside the stores with the fall decor, with my face up against the glass. Yes, this is the time that you only spend on necessities like your bills, your debt payment, because you want to make sure that you continue paying your bills. You don't want to mess up your credit, or especially if you're trying to build up your credit. This is a time that can hurt you, and this is the reason why we have the emergency fund, so we don't go into more debt and not be able to pay our debt. No impulsive spending, and discretionary spending is Paquito. That is it for my budgeting workflow using my emergency fund. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and it was, insightful on how you can use your emergency fund to carry you through in the moment of, for my instance, a job loss. If you did find this video helpful and you want to show me some love, then go ahead and hit the like button. It truly helps out my little small channel. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want to know who you are. Can you please leave your favorite emoji in the comments so I can personally thank you? And if you want to see how I budgeted my paycheck before I lost my job, then watch my weekly payday routine video right here. And as always, ladies, always become wiser, stronger, and better every day.